world until August 1945. 50 million to 85 million people died. Estimates still vary. Millions more were injured, raped, enslaved, displaced, or otherwise brutalized. Many of the world's great cities were smashed to rubble. It all ended in the hellish flash of the most powerful weapon yet developed, the atom bomb. Still, dreams of global peace and progress survived, and in 1946 they returned to Flushing Meadows. The only structure from the '39 World's Fair still standing, the large New York City building, was converted into a meeting hall for the first gathering of the General Assembly of the United Nations. While delegates conferred there, work on the UN's permanent home got underway in Turtle Bay, a former area of slaughterhouses and crumbling waterfront on the east side of Midtown Manhattan. On October 24, 1949, just a week short of 10 years since the first season of the New York World's Fair ended, President Truman, New York Governor Thomas Dewey, various diplomats, and 10,000 onlookers gathered at the foot of the slim, elegant UN Secretariat Tower, still under construction, to lay the granite cornerstone. Becoming the home of the United Nations and the capital of the world was the crowning achievement for New York City when it was at the zenith of its power and influence. In the decades surrounding World War II, New York was a far larger presence in America and around the world than it is today. To start with, there was its sheer size. In the 1920s, it had eclipsed London to become the largest city in the world. Its population of 7.5 million in 1940 was larger than the next three American cities, Chicago, Philadelphia, and Detroit, combined. It was bigger than the populations of the 14 smallest states combined. 3 of its 5 boroughs, Manhattan, Brooklyn, and the Bronx, would rank among the 8 most populous cities in the country. Almost 6% of all Americans lived within its 5 boroughs, 10% in the greater metropolitan area. It was also an extraordinarily diverse and cosmopolitan population. More Jews lived in New York City than in any other city in the world, more blacks than in any other city in America, more Irish than in Dublin, more Germans than anywhere outside Germany, almost as many Italians as in Rome. While Washington was the nation's political capital, New York was the capital in just about every other way that mattered. Its port was the busiest in the world, shipping 40% of all imports and exports for the entire United States. It was the nation's wholesale and retail merchandising hub. It was its powerhouse of banking and international finance. There were more Fortune 500 headquarters in Manhattan than anywhere in the country. Although it had no giant steel mills or automobile plants, New York's tens of thousands of smaller factories employing 1 million workers made it the largest factory town in the world. It was the nerve center of national media, headquarters of the national radio networks and the big national magazines. When the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, New Yorkers could read about it in a dozen English-language dailies. The Daily News, the New York Times, the Herald Tribune, the Sun, the Wall Street Journal, the Mirror, the New York Post, the Journal American, the World Telegram, the Brooklyn Eagle, the Daily Worker, and the New PM. The conservative Daily News was the largest circulation paper in the country, selling 2 million copies a day during the week, 4 million on Sundays. The New York Times moved far fewer copies, but it was highly influential among the power elite in Washington as well as New York. There were also foreign language dailies, including The Forward for Yiddish readers, and Il Progresso Italo-Americano, and a number of weeklies, such as the arch-conservative Examiner, which, because it came out on Sundays, was the first New York paper to carry the Pearl Harbor news on Sunday, December 7, 1941. Home to Tin Pan Alley and the Brill Building, Broadway and book publishing, the Harlem Renaissance, and Greenwich Village bohemia, New York City was the culture engine for the nation. It even styled and made the clothes Americans wore. New York's political clout in Washington was at its height in this period. Having this massive population center in it gave New York State more electoral votes than any other, 47 in 1940. Pennsylvania came second with 36.